Morning, everybody. It's the 16th of December. We are Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Ian Coleman and Steve O'Hare. Good morning, gents.
Morning, lads.
Everybody okay today?
All good in the hood?
Yes, all good.
Good.
Stevie's got his t-shirt on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got my t-shirt on.
Flying the flag.
Got my books.
Oh my God.
That looks interesting.
Truly hideous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've still got one of your books. It's firmly in this bottom drawer over here.
It's propping up the desk.
It's been there for about 3 years now, I think.
What book's that?
Let's have a look. This beauty that I was never ever going to read.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, it's the integrity bit
That's what put you off.
Yeah, couldn't pronounce it. Fuck it. Yeah, I mean, I'm still doing that exam, the investment advice diploma, and I'm on the tax one. But obviously, this year I was going to do it at the start of this year, and it's just like been put off. And I can't be doing it at home in exam conditions because I'd definitely cheat.
Oh, yeah. Then your integrity would be straight out.
Yeah,
the window, right?
that's it. Exactly. I'll be sort of hung.
Is that how they're doing the exams at the moment then?
Yeah, a lot of the exams are basically you have a camera like this, and you have mirrors all around you, and that they're sort of monitoring each camera. So it's supposed to work quite well. So I don't know. I think we'll be back. I'm in no rush to finish the exam, but I'd like to get it done definitely this year. So next year. So may have to end up doing that if we carry on.
Okay. Right, well, let's get on with it then. So in terms of news, there's been a bit of a hoo-ha about what we're supposed to be doing over Christmas in the UK. Probably not relevant to everyone watching, but it looks like they are going to continue with the easing restrictions, providing your family's not riddled with it, like mine and possibly Steve's, by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, obviously pressure building for a quick approval for the vaccine in Europe because the infection and death rates in the region are pushing higher. The ECB lifted the ban on bank dividends yesterday, so that seems to be boosting equity markets today. That's probably one of the factors behind it. The dividend limit is still in place, although at a more conservative level by the Bank of England. So bit of mixed messaging there, but certainly looks like that's going to be lifted pretty soon. Vague rumours of a Brexit deal moving forward. We're all very bored of that. So let's just park that for the moment. Everywhere else, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
The news.
Yeah, it was von der Leyen who sort of seems to have sort of given everyone else a little bit of hope on the Brexit deal. Fisheries, I think, is still the main hurdle. Yeah. But she did say that there is a path, a very narrow path to an agreement.
She's been squawking this morning, isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and that sort of seems to have sort of filtered through onto the equity markets. We can see that
so governance has been resolved. Like Stevie said, fisheries is still difficult. They want a level playing field. Blah 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 blah.
So yeah, we seem to get these.
Steve, you need to share your screen, mate, so we can see your
Yeah.
charts.
We seem to get these moves between 8 and 9 o'clock every morning. we have this like big break up. 65.26 was the low there. 65.30 the low, and it's running just coming up to 6600, which is a previous swing high back on the 14th of December, and above that we've got the 10th of deck high, 66.40. DAX, same sort of thing, broken above the previous resistance, formed on the 9th, and motoring, absolutely motoring. So
dollar index is in a pickle as well this morning by the looks of things.
Right, yeah. So all breaking higher on these. If we look at the daily chart on CAC, it sort of like puts it a bit more into perspective. We've still got a big level at 56.15 in the CAC.
Big old flag.
Yeah, and Dow. Looking at Dow, it's sort of like pushing towards all-time highs again, 30,275 at the moment. Nasdaq, again, we've talked about this this weekly chart, where it looked like it was reversing, and this week we've just gone, no, we're not. only joking. And it's going for the all-time highs, targeting a move to 12,675. So only about 30 ticks from the all-time highs. S&P's also pushing towards the highs, 37.15. We're trading 37.05, so only 10 points away from the all-time highs. So all looking pretty rosy. Now we'll pop across to gold.
Gold's loving it too.
Yeah. So we were talking about this formation that I'd highlighted, the head and shoulders formation, and we can pretty much see that it's taken out the right shoulders quite aggressively. So this turns into basically like a double bottom formation, although there was an extended low here from the 1825 level. You could say that this is taking out these two levels here, so a double bottom. So now this level I was trying to sell at, the 1850 level, that now becomes support, and looking to target the move to 1875. So this is all sort of like short-termish moves. Let's look at the daily chart on gold, and we can see that this level going back all the way, when it goes back even further. On the bigger chart, the daily chart, we can see the sort of like the reaction level 1848, and again we're breaking through it now. So we had a close above yesterday, close to 1853, so close just above the 1848 pivotal level, but really have to take out this high at 1875 to confirm this move. We can see that the sort of resistance above, coming in at 1910, is quite narrow in the coming days, in the coming weeks. So in the next sort of like up until just before Christmas, this is an ideal opportunity for the bulls to really take hold of this and push it through. When you've got resistance like this with a big thick cloud, that is a lot tougher to get through, as we saw back here on the 5th to the 9th of November. But this will be a bit easier. This is forward projecting resistance, and we can see that resistance basically projects forward and does sort of trend lower as we approach the end of the year. However, we'll wait and see.
It's weird, isn't it? It's got, the correlation's gone then, because normally it moves higher with the dollar, and the dollar's going lower, and it normally moves higher when stocks go down. Stocks are going up. It's just exactly like mind of its own.
I think it has traded more like a risk asset over the last few months.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely more in sort of like, moving with the equity indices. We'll have its detachment when the dollar has a sort of significant move, but then it seems to go back to the indices and then ignore the dollar for a while. So I think there's definitely the dollar selling off the way it has done. I think gold still feels a bit undervalued, but it's obviously, if the equity markets take a smash, it's sort of everyone sells their equity, sells gold to fund the equity position again.
A pal of mine's been getting involved in silver and gold, but of late just silver, and he picked the day that silver bottomed out, because he said it was the day after the COMEX delivery, and he was talking about the fact that they're basically pressuring the market lower. So that it was cheaper delivery, basically. And
market manipulation, are you talking about?
Potentially, yeah.
Where's that book?
And then the day, and literally that was the delivery day there, and you can see what happened the day after.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great formation, isn't it? This is like a morning star formation. Yeah.
So it was a really good. It was quite a good nod, and I thought maybe at that point that the dollar might turn as well, but it didn't. Dollars kept on going, and it's not very pleasant for me because I am still buying dips.
Do you want to show us what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of going to try and explain why I've still got that stance, but I mean, because I'm still looking at equities to potentially turn around. I know I'm sort of trying to fight the trend. This is a 1 hour chart for the Dow. I've got a confluence area here at 304, well, 305 the figure really, and if you go to a higher time frame, you've got a nice pattern here at 306 the figure. So I'm still sort of looking at these, but you need the catalyst, and I don't know if the catalyst is going to be FOMC tonight, of the statement maybe, but here is the US 500, S&P 500, and again you've got a resistance level just above current price. I mean, we nearly got there and had a decent correction to the downside, and then it looks like it's under attack once more. And again, if you go to shorter time frames, they're linking in quite well, these resistance levels. So obviously if you get a 4 hour, an hour, a daily, and they all line up, it gives it a little bit more power. And if they come off, and it must sound like a really bad broken record now, but then obviously the dollar index should move to the upside. But we've had this really aggressive break of the swing lows this morning, and it's taken out this 261.8% fib. And the only thing that I can really get on to give it any sort of hope at all is this previous pivot point, which is at 90.13, which is basically where we're trading at the moment. But if you reflect that back onto the majors, obviously euro dollar's broken to new highs. It's getting a long way past this confluence zone that I talked about, 121.50, 121.55. Got to close the week below that, so it needs a decent move to the downside. Going to shorter time frames, again, there's potential for a stalling here at 122.49, but I'm not getting any patterns. There's two currency pairs or dollar pairs that I do find really interesting for a potential turn, and that's cable. And again, you've got to have sort of pretty big kahunas to go cable at the moment, I suppose, with all that's going on. But we talked about this 35.50 being a perfected level, and 135.39 was the high. But if we go to this chart today, you've got, this is the cipher pattern at 135.50. So I'm wondering whether or not just one more break up to the upside, wash out some weak stops, and then turn round. And Aussie dollar is very similar. So Aussie dollar, basically, we've got our perfected level at 76.19. If we go to this chart, which is the hourly chart, commodity currencies, as far as fib levels are concerned, have a tendency to extend to 423.6%, and that's at 76.17. So I'm sort of watching Aussie dollar and cable for a move up to these fib levels, and if they get up towards these fib levels, then I'd also look to euro dollar just to see where that fib is holding, and if it holds onto that 120, this 161.8% extension is of this wave, by the way, then I'd potentially look at that for a turnaround as well. So I'm still very stubbornly bullish on the dollar, but basically at slightly lower levels for the dollar, or higher levels for euro dollar, cable, and Aussie dollar. The rest of them I'm not really seeing a great deal. This is dollar Swiss. We talked about this yesterday. The confluence zone is at 88.65, so we're well through that now, but we've still got this sort of wedge formation. But again, it really needs to hold on, or if it does get a spike through, it needs to reject it. So they're all at very critical points at the moment. And dollar CAD, like I said, I think these fib levels are a lot lower, so that should mean that oil continues to move to the upside. And I don't think we're going to get a reversal in Canadian dollar anytime soon. Yen crosses, again, similar sort of story. I thought this was a head and shoulders formation. That breakout has been false this morning. I suppose it's got the potential to move back up here on a daily basis. Sterling yen, again, haven't really got much in the way of patterns, but if you look back here, this is the daily chart. This was perfected at 140.63. So again, I'd look up towards these sort of swing highs, which sort of come in around about 140.30 for potential reversals, but just with a stop above here, and then sort of, your target levels are all the way down here at 88.6% of this rally. Aussie yen is pretty similar. What's it looking at here? We already had a sort of perfected crab formation here, and I think you might just chop around. But again, I'll be looking at that Aussie dollar level to get an entry on Aussie yen, with it being a bit of a risk asset. But apart from that, not really seeing too much. And
Okay.
it's FOMC tonight, so is that going to be the catalyst, basically?
Well, there's a stack of data today, isn't there? As we mentioned yesterday, we've got all the PMIs due out this morning between 8:15 and 9 o'clock, so most of them are probably already out. We had French, German and Eurozone PMIs. UK PMI at 9:30. We then got US retail sales at 1:30, US PMIs at 2:45, crude inventories at 3:30, and then, as Ian said, FOMC at 7 p.m. Expected to leave rates unchanged, but I would assume there will be some chat about stimulus, which could, as Ian said, be a catalyst maybe for some sort of movement in markets. But we'll have to wait and see. So let's have a look at the gun to the head stuff from yesterday. I can report that we finally had a decent winner, which is nice. And that came courtesy of Ian's trade on Euro Yen. So this is the spreadsheet.
Skin of our teeth.
Skin of his teeth. He stayed in, but we needed that bit of luck. There we go. 3 trades yesterday. Steve and I were stopped out on DAX and gold, but Ian came through with a nice win. 2.75R, 44 ticks on Euro Yen. Ian, that was your biggest win since July. So well done, mate.
What?
Yeah.
Bloody Nora.
So let's see if that can be a catalyst for us having a bit of a turnaround in our fortunes. Have either of you got something ready for us?
Yeah, I'm going to go the dollar.
Go on.
I'm just fighting this. I'm going to keep on fighting it till the bitter end.
Double up.
Yeah, fade in, always win, eh, Stevie boy?
Just a good way of showing people how not to trade, I think.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And listen, if that's education and that works for some people, they're looking at it and thinking, right, okay, he's buying dollar now, let's sell it, and just you know, we have been a bit of a reverse indicator over the past month or so.
We have.
So,
at least we're giving some sort of value. Not the sort of value we expect.
Comedy value, yeah. Long at 90.15, targeting 91.04 with a stop at 89.98.
89.98. Okay.
Hoping not a hold into the Fed. I don't get stopped out beforehand.
Okay, Steve, you got one?
I haven't. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm going against Ian. I'm going with the flow on dollar, looking at selling dollar CAD. Ian, you did say you thought that was going to head lower. And just taking a look at some sort of longer term charts here. I was looking at the weekly just to try and get a gauge as to where this could potentially go. Let's just clear that off. It's no good to me now. So looking at this fib set up from these lows back in 2017 to these highs that we saw earlier in the year. Obviously on a severe drop lower. Next level we've got on a fib perspective is at 26.19. So my target today will be 26.20 on that today. Looking at it on the short term, we've got this sort of channel or wedge, and I think we're going to keep heading lower. So I'm going to sell that right now, which is at 27.13. Stop loss at 27.47. Targeting that move down to 26.20, so 2.8R. Looking for a continuation of weakness in the US dollar. That's me. Did that give you enough time, Steve?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Go on in.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw the bear impetus all out. We've broken above the right shoulder here. We've got potential to move higher now. Ideal world, I'll be buying a dip at around 1850, but I've got the gun to the head, so I'm going to get long of gold here. So where we're trading 1862. I'll have a stop at 1852, targeting 1882. 2 to 1. That's about as good as I can get. Sorry about that. Apologies in advance.
That would do.
Yeah, so that's me.
Okay, perfect. So we've got 3 trades: selling dollar CAD, buying dollar index, and buying gold. Obviously gone through the Data due out today, which is pretty stacked, as we mentioned on the card. So keep an eye out for those if you're trading today. Anything else to add, gents?
Yeah. Can I just say that I've just noticed this? So I've actually got a pattern here.
Yeah, you just made that up.
You're just
No, I
fucking
haven't.
making it
No,
up.
I haven't.
What
It's
about the
a,
little-
hold on a
why is
second.
that- why is that B level?
It's a crab.
Nah, it's crap, isn't
224% extension of that level and 161.8% extension of that level. It's
Why
a
haven't you used
perfect
the
crab.
higher to the left of the?
Perfect. It's perfect.
It's a perfected crab formation. Shush, Joe.
Perfect crab.
I might hold on a second. I might just go like
Perfect.
that now. Look, I might just go like that.
Perfect crab formation is in Chiconies, laying it on plate with a little bit of
Soft shell crab.
Mary Rose sauce. Yeah,
I'd love a bit of crab.
that's the perfect crab formation for me.
Yeah.
M&S
All right,
have
well, let's
got
see.
extra stock in.
Yes.
Let's see how that crab plays out then.
I'll have
I
a
reckon,
look.
I reckon it'd be barbecued by.
I'll have a pound on it.
Roasted.
You have little faith.
How
Good luck,
dare
mate.
you?
I hope
Cheers.
you continue the win
Yeah.
streak. Anyway,
Don't worry, we hope it wins.
yeah,
I'm now buying the dollar index.
Yeah, fuck you.
cool. All right, gents,
See you
let's
later.
wrap it up.
Good night. Cheers.
Have a good
Good
one.
night. Did you say good
Bye-bye.
night?
Good night from us.
Good night,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, good night from us. All right.
See ya.
Okay.